Hello, welcome to GMAETS 41. In this short video tutorial, we are going to give attention to one important concept under motion. I would like us to look at the concept of velocity. Velocity is a motion parameter. But hey, pause a little. Before you dismiss this video, calm down. How about you take a look at the screen and imagine yourself being exposed to this question when you are seated for your examination. How do you approach this question? Quite tricky, okay? So in this video tutorial, I'll be exposing the secret to dealing with this problem. And of course, you can always count on the GMAETS 41 to be well taught so that when you step in for your examination, no matter what is thrown at you, you can confidently attack and come out 100% assured that you are going to blast your ace splashes on that course. Now you see the question, the displacement of a particle is given as S equal to 2t squared plus 5t minus 1 in meters. Find the first part of the question, the velocity in the third second. The second part of the question, the average velocity in the third second. And of course, we have the third and fourth part of the question. You are asked to find the instantaneous velocity in the third second as well as velocity between the second and the third second. You think that all of these velocities are going to give you the same result? Stay glued to this tutorial as we quickly see how you demystify this problem. Now, before we go into solving this question, I would like you to know something, that in the study of motion, when you talk about velocity, now you hear things like instantaneous velocity, you hear average velocity. These are two key types of velocities, okay? Although you also hear something like uniform velocity, when equal displacement is covered in equal time interval. That's not much of a problem now in this short video tutorial. And then we talk about tangential velocity as well. So of course, when you start moving on into circular motion, that's not a problem right away. I want us to look at the concept of average velocity and instantaneous velocity. We're going to solve this question rightly on the board. Are you following right? So without wasting time, let us look at how we solve this problem. But remember, when you hear of average velocity, what comes to your mind? It's simply the velocities between two times. Yeah, so if a particle is here and it moves from here to this point, now what is the velocity between it? That is what we call the average velocity. What about instantaneous velocity? If you hear about instantaneous velocity, that is the velocity at a particular time. Now, sometimes your examiner may not use the clear word to define them. Calculate average velocity, calculate instantaneous velocity. You are just asked to find velocity, but then there is something that is attached. How do you solve such problem? So we are going to be dealing with this question that we have. Remember, we are given a function. We are required to find the velocity in the third second. Now, how do you solve this problem? It's pretty cool. Now, you notice that your examiner did not specify the velocity to find here. He said, get me the velocity in the third second. Now, this is what you should know about velocity. It also applies to acceleration also. If I come to you and I say velocity, now you should know that I am talking about average velocity or instantaneous. Which one? And I'll tell you, you're actually referring to instantaneous velocity. If I just mention velocity, please, it's not average velocity. It is instantaneous velocity. The same thing with acceleration. If you just hear acceleration, what type of acceleration is that? It is instantaneous. If it is average, in most cases, that term, that word, average, will be attached to that motion quantity. Average velocity, average acceleration. But if I just tell you velocity, or I just tell you acceleration, please, GMAETS 41, by this video tutorial, is telling you that that quantity is actually referring to the instantaneous quantity. So by telling us to find the velocity in the third second, the examiner is actually asking us to find the instantaneous velocity. And how do you calculate the instantaneous velocity of a particle given the displacement function? It's simple. We have to do our differentiation. Remember that velocity generally is equal to displacement over time. Given this displacement function, we are going to write it as ds dt, which means we should differentiate the displacement with respect to what? Time. So this is the definition of our instantaneous velocity. Shall we differentiate and see what we get? Come to this, differentiate. By the way, differentiation is 1 plus 1. On this channel, you have full-blown words on differentiation and integration. You can learn more about them. Coming over here, if I differentiate 2t squared, all I will do here for this type of function is to use this power to multiply the base, go to the power and subtract 1. Once again, use power, multiply the base, go to the power, subtract 1. So we're going to have 2 times 2t, which will give us 4t. And then go to the power and subtract 1. 2 minus 1 will give us 1. No need of fixing the 1 because t raised to power 1 will give you t. Come to this 5t, do the same thing. The power here is 1. Use 1 to multiply the base 5t. And of course, you get 5t. But I don't want to write the t here again because you have to go to the power and subtract 1. Are you getting me right? Initially, the power of this t is 1. So if you subtract 1, you will get power 0. T raised to power 0 will give you 1. And then 1 times the 5 will give us 5. Then come over to this minus 1. That is a constant. Differentiate this minus 1. It does not contain the t that you are differentiating with respect to. Are you getting me right? So since there is no t here, it's a pure constant. If you differentiate it, you get 0. Let's forget about that minus 1 now. It's gone if you differentiate it. This is our instantaneous velocity function. It is a function on its own because it still contains t. Okay? So this is the instantaneous velocity. Now we are asked to find the instantaneous velocity in the third second. So it's going to be v in the third second is equal to 3 seconds. It's instantaneous velocity we are looking for here because we were not told to find average velocity. We were not told. We're not told. It's instantaneous. And the time in this case, since it is instantaneous velocity, that third second in this case is specific. It means find the instantaneous velocity when time is equal to 3 seconds. That's the implication. So all I have to do is to come to this function of instantaneous velocity. Wherever I see t, I'll fix 3 seconds. So this is going to be 4 times 3 and then plus 5. And of course, if you work on this, your instantaneous velocity in 3 seconds, that is in the third second, is going to be equal to, this is 12, add 5, you get 17. So my answer is clearly 17 meters per second. Very simple. It's just for you to know the meaning of that velocity and that's it. And of course, I think I've exposed the secret. You hear velocity, it's actually instantaneous. If it is average velocity, that term average will be attached to that velocity. However, there is a case that your examiner can expose you to. You would be calculating average velocity, but the word average will not be used. It will not be used. And that takes us to the second part of the question that said we should find the average velocity in the third second. Okay, good enough. The examiner used the word average velocity. Find the average velocity in the third second. So how do we solve this problem? Remember that the velocity was specified majorly to be average. So let us continue. In the case of average velocity, in respecting this in the third second, the interpretation is that you calculate the velocity between the time before 3 seconds and 3 seconds itself. So 3 seconds is just like the endpoint. And of course, you know that before 3 seconds, the third second, you would have passed the second second. Simply put, 3 seconds and 2 seconds. All right? That's the meaning of the second part of the question. Find the average velocity in the third second. So you just simply have to calculate the velocity between 2 seconds and what? 3 seconds. That's the implication of the second part of the question. And we have this. Let's see how it goes. We are looking for average velocity. Permit me to use V bar for average velocity. Okay, it's not a standard symbol, but you can hear me as I'm telling you that I'm using V bar for average velocity. So average velocity in the third second, that is going to be, generally that average velocity is defined as displacement changing the position all over time, all over change in time. Yeah. So this is position. The change in position now refers to displacement. This X here is representing this S. I hope you're following, right? And when we have this change here, what it simply means is that we are to calculate the final position. Okay, so let us say X final minus X initial, and then divided by time final minus time initial. Yeah, that's the meaning of this formula. So we are going to apply it here. All I have to do now is to get the average velocity in the third second. You are calculating it now between 2 and 3 seconds. That's the implication. So it's going to be the displacement at 3 seconds, which is the final time, minus displacement at 2 seconds, then divided by the change in time, which is 3, 3 minus 2. Final time minus initial time. Remember what I told you, hearing in the third second for average velocity, you will calculate between 2 seconds and 3 seconds. So if you hear in the fifth second, you are calculating between 4 seconds and 5 seconds, all right? So you want to take note of that concept for average quantities, actually. So let us move on and substitute here. What is going to be the displacement at 3 seconds? Come over to this displacement function and fix 3. Simplify it. And what's going to be the displacement at 2 seconds? Again, go over there and fix it. Then whatever you get, you solve it out. The denominator, in this case of average velocity, will always give you 1. Because it's between 2 closest or consecutive times. Are you following, right? Let's do it and see. Displacement in the third second, fix 3 here. Raise it to power 2. You get 9. 9 times 2 is 18. Fix 3 here. Multiply by 5, you get 15. 18 plus 15 is 33. Then minus 1. So this is going to give us 32. Are you following, right? This displacement at 3 seconds is 32 meters. That's the meaning. Then minus displacement at 2 seconds. Go back again, fix 2. Fix 2 here. 2 raised to power 2 will give you 4. 4 times 2 is 8 here. Fix 2 here. Multiply by 5, you get 10. 10 plus this, of course, is going to give you 18. 18 minus 1, you get 17. So the displacement at 2 seconds is 17 meters. In place of this S at 2 seconds, you fix 17. Divided by 3 minus 2 is 1. So no need of bothering myself showing that. So the average velocity in the third second is equal to 32 minus 17. 32 minus 17 will give us 15. So this is 15 meters per second. All right. So you see we have solved the first 2 parts of the question. The third and fourth part. The third part of the question asks us to find the instantaneous velocity in the third second. And of course, you see that the third part of the question is the same as the first part, which means in the third part of the question that we have to find the instantaneous velocity, in the third second is simply telling us to calculate the velocity in 3 seconds, simply, which we got 17 meters per second. So the third part of this question, the answer is still the same as the first part because it's the same thing you're calculating. But you see the way the examiner used that term, all right? Then what about the fourth part of the question? We are asked to calculate the velocity between the second and the third second. The velocity between the second and the third second. That simply means the velocity between 2 seconds and 3 seconds. So you notice that in the fourth part of the question, the examiner didn't ask you to find average velocity again. What the examiner asked you is find the velocity. So it's just like the first part of the question where you are asked to find the velocity, but now in the third second. That is for the first part of the question. In the fourth part, now the last part of the question, you are asked to find the velocity between The examiner didn't use average. But that last part of the question is actually average velocity. Because according to the question, you are solving that velocity between two times, the second and the third second. That's between 2 seconds and 3 seconds. So even though the examiner didn't use average velocity in the fourth part of this question, you should know that you're actually calculating average velocity in that fourth part of the question, because we are asked to find out velocity between two times. Therefore, that fourth part of our question is actually the same as the second part of our question, which means the answer to the fourth part of the question, find the velocity between the second and the third second. The answer will be what? 15 meters per second. So I hope you're able to understand this concept of velocity when you're asked to look for instantaneous velocity and when you're asked to look for average velocity. Your examiner has the right, the choice to either use the term instantaneous or tell you to find average. In that case, you know exactly what they're asking you to find. But whereby they just tell you find, that quantity without using average. You hear find maybe velocity. In the case of the first part of the question, velocity in, and the time is given. That velocity is instantaneous. Then in the case where you are asked to find velocity between, and they give you 2 times, that velocity is actually what? Average. I hope you enjoyed these tutorials. Please like and subscribe to this channel and share these videos to your friends, to your classmates, so that they can also benefit from the video. I'll be looking forward to seeing you in my next video. And remember, you can become a channel member so you get access to all the powerful lecture videos available on this channel. You can join the platinum or the diamond level. All right. And of course, you can also register for GMAETS 41's tutorial. And of course, we'll coach you to excellence. All right. Let us meet in our next video. And I hope you are enjoying this channel, right? Stay tuned.